Today on Locked On Hornets, we welcome Wes Bryant, Bally Sports, Charlotte Hornets insider, as we do every single Wednesday to get his thoughts on the last two games and preview Milwaukee tonight. Again, that's coming up today on Locked On Hornets.
You are Locked On Hornets, your daily Charlotte Hornets podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
In a minute, cuz we live.
It's Locked On Hornets. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, local experts on the #1 daily sports podcast network. Thanks for making Locked On Hornets your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. You can Walker Mail, Doug on Twitter at Doug Branson LOH, and you can follow our guest, our now family member, Wes Bryant, joining the Locked On Hornets podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at WesGotRange. Wes, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
What's going on, guys? I like the family theme coming off of Thanksgiving, so it's very fitting.
Yeah, you got a place at our table anytime, Wes. And we ask about you for Eric Collins. We also ask about you. And so he gave the stamp of approval as well. So now you're officially, I think, a part of the family, even within Bally Sports. When Eric Collins gives you the go-ahead and he gives you the stamp of approval, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't, man. The only thing that would be missing is for him to give me one of his famous calls, like "Wes is great," or one of the
something
calls that he likes to do. I need something like that to officially certify me. But yeah, man, it feels great. I love working with them. They welcomed me in from day one, and I always bounce ideas off of him and Dale and different things that I may be thinking, just a checks and balances system. But the biggest thing is when they've shown me respect for what I do, because like Eric in the last production meeting we had, he said that he could tell the research that I did and the way that I would talk about things on the broadcast. So that really meant a lot for a veteran guy like that to say that to me. I was like, all right, we're making some headway here.
Well, I mean, that's his forte. Anything research-based, he is going to be extremely appreciative of. And the fact that he's got him talking a lot about Wake Forest football these days, so kudos on that. Eric Collins joining us. You can, again, go check that out on our YouTube channel, Locked On Hornets. Very simple, very good interview. Check it out and listen to Eric Collins talk with me and Doug just last week. Real quickly, too, we did talk about trying to get him in a pink suit. As always appreciate the fashion, always appreciate the duds you bring. Is that a LaMelo Ball shirt you're rocking right now?
Yeah, it is, man. It's a LaMelo shirt I got from 500 level. So,
okay.
Yeah, man, 500 level, the T-shirts, man. Instagram, man, they'll get you. They have a lot of good stuff on there. People sleep on Instagram for the product. We know our phones hear us talking. So when I go on, they always have just the right stuff to get me to spend a little bit of change when I go on Instagram.
Instagram is a shopping channel. It's not a social media network. It is the modern day QVC.
Yeah, so that's why I discovered 500 level, but they have a lot of dope stuff. So when LaMelo got drafted, I definitely wanted some merch off top. So this was the shirt I went with, and I got my little boy the caricature shirt.
There you go. Oh, yeah, the caricatures are great. Doug, you're a big fan of the caricatures, I think.
I'm a huge fan of caricatures.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I'm a human caricature, so
yeah, you are. I love the caricatures. you really are. I'm gonna get a big Doug T-shirt that I can wear right here, right over here on the Locked On Hornets podcast every single time. Maybe over my heart. There we can go. Put Doug on a T-shirt there. All right, Wes. Let's talk about some of the last couple of games. The Charlotte Hornets, they lost 2 in a row. Their defense has not been good. They had been playing a lot better beforehand, and now they're averaging, they're allowing 130 points the last 2 contests. Even against Minnesota, they allowed 115. Seems like finally the Hornets, the good defense, it's going away. What have you seen from some of the struggles from the Bugs here as of late, and why they've lost a couple of these contests?
Yeah, coming into the Minnesota game, over those last 8 games and then over Minnesota's last 5 games, you could say these were the 2 best defensive teams in basketball the way they were playing. Yes, the Hornets gave up 115 to Minnesota, but it was a little bit of some cheapies because the Hornets really dominated that game from start to finish. But then they get on the road, and it's like the defense stayed back at the Spectrum Center. The Houston game, I give a little bit of a caveat. It was just one of those nights. 23 threes from Houston. They were hitting everything they threw up. When I said the Hornets, when they had their big night with threes, Houston players, they could have done it like a TV show, had them sitting in the stands, shooting, and then cut to the basket, and it goes in. A guy macking on a woman in the stands, and he just shoots it, not even looking, and it goes in. Houston was hitting everything they put up. Now, the Chicago game, it kind of looked like the effort on defense was just a little bit lackadaisical. It looked like the Bulls could just get whatever they want. I felt like the Hornets contested shots at Houston fairly decent, but Houston was just hitting everything. But I felt like Chicago maybe it was a little bit of a lack of effort until they made the big comeback late in the game. It just wasn't enough. But Chicago, DeRozan was killing them from mid-range, and then Chicago was just knocking down threes, and then they had just all types of highs. Looked at the post-game notes. I think Chicago had the season high for points. I think three-pointers made. The Hornets they allowed a season low for opponents for rebounds. So the Hornets just kind of didn't seem like on the defensive end that the effort was quite there. So hopefully they turn it up tonight against Milwaukee, and that's going to be a tall order.
Yeah, they're winning a lot of games lately now that Milwaukee is getting a little healthier. People were kind of wondering why they weren't as good, but it's because they had suffered some injuries. And it's interesting you bring that point up, Wes, because I think most people might put it as the reverse. Hey, Houston, there's no excuses because they are such a bad basketball team, but Chicago might have been just one of those nights, as you put it. But here you are saying kind of the reverse where, hey, sometimes just nothing goes in for you. Houston starts making a lack of effort on the defense floor. And look, you got to bring it for Chicago because that's a team that has gone into the offseason, improved greatly, bringing a DeMar DeRozan in. We know that they traded for Vooch last year. Lonzo Ball was one of the more celebrated moves in the entire offseason, and it's really paid dividends for them. You start to see some of the NBA pundits across the league kind of say, hey, even me being high on Chicago coming in didn't see this type of production. And you know what? They lose to Houston before they beat Charlotte. So they had one of those hiccups against a Rockets team as well. And here Charlotte is just needing to bring more effort on the defensive end. You're right. They're going to need to against Milwaukee. Before we take a quick break, Wes, what kind of shot do you think Charlotte has tonight, as well as what do they need to do in order to beat the Bucks?
Oh, man, they beat the Bucks. It's definitely going to be an all-hands-on-deck effort. We know Rozier has been playing well, but you're going to need all your guys to come through. Gordon played well in Chicago. He got it going as a late, but you're going to need Miles. You're going to need everybody because we know what Giannis does. He puts together stats like a kid puts together blocks in class, okay? You know what I'm saying? He's going to get 25, 30, 35, 15, 20 boards, whatever it may be. So you're going to have to be ready for that. You're going to have to be ready for the shooting, the defense, the hard-nosed way that they play, and that's a very tough arena to play in. So the Hornets really need to show that they can be locked on, like this podcast is called Locked In. They have to show that they can be able to do that tonight because it's going to be a very hostile environment. The Milwaukee fans, I feel like, are very basketball savvy, so they know the Hornets are a good team, so they're going to make it as difficult on them as they can. But everybody's going to have to come to play tonight, and the Hornets are going to have to just play what has been the winning formula for them, getting the ball around and finding the best shot, assisting the basketball, low on turnovers, turn up the defense. If they can do that, they have a shot. So I think they win tonight. I'm going to go with the Hornets. I feel like, a couple of losses as of late. They may just say enough is enough tonight. So I'm going to roll with the squad tonight.
Well, it's 7 straight for Milwaukee, too. You can almost look at it like, hey, Milwaukee's due for a loss. Milwaukee, they beat the Pacers 118-100 the most recent timeout. Giannis went for 26. You got Middleton. He scored 14. Drew Holiday as well, 23. Like, you got those three in the lineup doing consistent stuff for Milwaukee. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, but maybe they're just due. Maybe that's the way you look at it. Let's take a quick break, not before I discuss Indeed. While there's always going to be a debate between LeBron and Michael Jordan, when it comes to helping you hire all-star talent faster, the GOAT is Indeed. If you're hiring, you need Indeed. Don't struggle on your own to find quality candidates anymore. Indeed can help you hire the right people, and they can do it right now. Indeed partners with you on every step of the hiring process so you can find talent with the skills you need through tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. So Indeed is the site for you. It makes it easier for the star applicants to shine with over 135 assessment tests from cooking to even coding. And with Indeed assessments, you can reduce hiring time by 12% according to Indeed data worldwide. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/locked. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/locked. Indeed.com/locked. Offer valid through December 31st. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. All right, one other thing, I do want to discuss Built Bar as well, because Built Bar has always been a place for you to go visit to get a delicious treat, but it also not feel so full after eating a dessert. In fact, it's an energy bar that only has 130 calories, but it tastes like a candy bar. Low calorie, low carb, low fat, but also high protein and covered in 100% real chocolate. Built is a great option for you when you're hungry. And if the Thanksgiving leftovers aren't cutting it for you, the holidays, again, if soon enough for you, go to Built Bar, go to Built.com and get a Built Bar too. Okay, again, go to Built.com. Use promo code LOCKED15 and you'll get 15% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. All right, let's get to some more of the Milwaukee Bucks game tonight on the Locked On Hornets podcast.
This is Locked On Hornets.
You know, you give them the pink to let them know you have a little bit of a softer side, but you give them the black to let them know it's still real out here. Don't run up on me, okay? I just got to let you know it's still real.
It's time for more of the Locked On Hornets podcast.
Still real.
I love that.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so good. It's so amazing. Now, we tried to get Eric Collins to see if he would be open to wearing a pink suit. Are you going to try to pitch that at the next production meeting, Wes, or do you feel like you're still a little new to the game?
Wes, don't be stingy with the fit. Don't be stingy with that swag lord, swag lord thing you got going on.
Yeah, we may discuss that. We might just go all pink to actually get her pink dress out, tell Eric and the crew to get the pink on as well. Him and Dale, let's see what we can do. I did see Dale wear I think he had a pink tie or something on for one of the games that I watched. Because I told my mom, I said, I said, you see Dale rocking the pink? She's like, yeah, he's trying to be like you. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So, yeah, I did see Dale rocking a little bit of pink.
Okay.
A little pastel Dell.
Yeah.
Pastel Dale. And the pink toe. Iverson's just dropped 2. I was this close. If I didn't have 3 pair of questions already, I would have gotten them.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then you'd have to you'd have to show it all off, and then you'd have to find a way to get your feet on the camera. You did that last time, though. What were you wearing with the pink suit? You had some Jordans on or something like that?
No, I had on I had some Blazers that had the gigantic swoosh on them. That people like. I got them because they look like off-whites, and I can't afford off-whites. Rest in peace, Virgil. I can't afford off-whites. So they were the closest I could get. So I said, hey, I like them a lot.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get Eric Collins, and we can just get the whole broadcast decked in pink and keeping it real. Keeping it real. You get the soft side, but keep it still real.
People ask me about that ever since I've won it. When I walk through the arena, I get at least 2 questions from people that have seen me on a regular basis. When are you gonna wear some more pink? When are you gonna? I'm like,
that's your thing.
You started the revolution.
I know. Yeah. There you go, Wes. Let's talk about some individual players here and how they can help the Hornets get a win against Milwaukee. One guy we talked about a little bit yesterday, Wes, it's Miles Bridges, and you only saw him shoot 8 times against Chicago. That was less than LaMelo, less than Terry, less than Gordon, the same as PJ, less than Kelly, and the same as Jalen McDaniels. So when you talk about only a 7-man rotation and the only guy Miles Bridges shot more than was Nick Richards, it's a little bit concerning because this is also somebody that the last few games hasn't been scoring the ball at near the pace that he was certainly early on in the season. His efficiency fine the last couple of games, but also less volume. You're going to be taking better shots. What have you made of what Miles Bridges has done in the last few contests for Charlotte?
Yeah, he's a guy that needs to step up. He's been playing at an all-star level for a good bit of this season, but that's the thing. If you want to be an all-star, you want to be considered one of those guys. And, get a max contract, you have to stay consistent. And has proven that he's one of the Hornets' key guys. As far as him driving to the bucket, he's one of the guys on the Hornets that they need to do that the most that really opens up their offense. As far as him getting in there, flexing, showing the strength, and really driving the ball to the basket. His defensive plays, as far as getting block shots, he's also key for them on defense because really he's their best shot blocker, and he makes the energy plays. And that's the thing with Miles that you want to see. You want to see him get going. But the energy that he brings with the yelling and the aggression and things like that, it permeates throughout the team. So you don't want to see him out there playing timid basketball. You want to see him attacking, being aggressive, getting his. Hey, his play so far this season has shown that he belongs. He looks like an all-star. He's played with the efficiency of an all-star and the production. So this is a guy that you want to get going, and he needs to have a good game. So hopefully just a couple of blips on the radar. Who knows what it could be? But tonight, they're certainly going to need him to offset some of that production that you're going to get from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a full team defensive effort to try to contain Giannis because, I think teams know the scouting report on Charlotte defensively. They struggle to defend big men, especially inside. So it's going to take miles, especially if they don't have – Cody Martin out there locking things down on the wing.
Yes.
That's going to hurt them as well. Yeah, Cody's been out a couple of games now. He's questionable tonight as far as the injury report the latest injury report that I've seen. What have they been missing without Cody Martin?
Yeah, this is the guy, again, just like I said with Miles. He brings that energy. Sometimes you'll see coach bring him in a little earlier maybe than some might expect because they want to see, the team might not be playing with the type of energy that he desires. They bring Cody in. He's going to bring that effort on defense because we all know defense and rebounding is mostly about effort, and then you throw in the scheme. But he's a guy that's very selfless and also, a good 3-and-D guy. He gives you the defense, but he can hit some threes too. He's going to take charges, one of the league leaders in that. But he's just a guy that's going to give you everything he's got. He's going to maximize his effort every time he steps on the floor. And that's something, again, that gets the team going when he takes a big charge or gets a big stop on a guy and spurs that defense. So they've been missing that huge. I heard JB say that it was either after the Houston or the Chicago game when he said how much, they miss Cody and how big he is for them on defense. So they certainly need him. He's arguably their best on-ball defender, and that's according to the head coach. So anytime you lose a guy like that, it's going to hurt you, especially with the defensive run they've been on during their streak of wins or how well they've been playing. So they need him big time.
Yeah, Wes, we've also talked about the absence of P.J. Washington and how that affected the Hornets. So he comes back late October, and he's been playing for them, he actually missed a few games in November, not late October, but right as soon as you got the Cleveland game, Golden State game. Then he was out for a long period of time before returning against Orlando, 24 minutes against Minnesota, 35 against Houston, 32, shooting the ball really well. This is actually kind of a P.J. thing I've noticed, which has also been interesting. Anytime he comes back from injury, we saw it last year, he gets real hot. It's almost like it's somewhat of a blessing in disguise. He does get a rest. His legs and that energy saved actually helps him knock down more shots, and you're seeing it here right now. But also, PJ to me is maybe their best defensive center on the team, especially with a guy like Mason out there. And yet here they are with PJ giving up a lot of points to a Houston and to a Chicago. Overall, just what have you made of PJ's entrance back with the Charlotte Hornets after that injury?
Yeah, he's been big. You hope that they could get some more wins with him coming back into the fold. But as you said, his interior defense, he's very good at anticipation down there. He really he makes those sneaky plays where a guy looks like he might have him just a little bit and he'll throw that hand and then get a strip, or, he gets blocks. We've seen some of his defense, against some of the best guys in the league in the interior. But then, as you said, the shooting has been clutched. The two-man game that he plays with LaMelo, when he comes out there, pick and roll out there or the pick and pop, he's been really great at that because LaMelo's been setting him up well and other guys that he does that with. So he's been huge for them. But the thing that they need him the most on is just defensively. This whole team needs to step up defensively. But as you said, since he's been back, especially on the offensive side, he's definitely been showing up. and defensively as well. Like I said, just very good anticipatory defender
Yeah.
down there in the paint.
But they're going to need a shooting because defensively, Milwaukee, it seems like they defend the rim at all costs. They remind me of those Steve Clifford Hornets Bobcats days. They'll allow you to take a lot of threes, but they're not going to give you anything in the mid-range. They're not going to give you anything near the rim. They do a lot of drop coverage. And I don't know if they'll adjust that game plan for the Hornets, who have just been on fire from three. But if they stick with that defensive game plan, I think the Hornets have an opportunity to do what they did to Minnesota, and put up 23 3-pointers made. The bad news right now is, as Walker said, Milwaukee's won 7 in a row by an average margin of 15. But here's the good news. I got some good news. Their wins have come against teams like Detroit, Indiana, OKC, and a couple against Orlando. So I think Milwaukee might be due. I think they haven't played a team that has the offensive firepower that the Hornets bring. So I'm decently confident unless Giannis just has a Giannis game.
Yeah, and like you said, with the way Milwaukee plays defense, the Hornets could be a tough matchup for them, in that the Hornets have a lot of guys that space the floor. I mean, they have so many guys that play well on the perimeter that hopefully that can open that up. You know, you don't know who Giannis will guard from possession to possession, but if he does end up on a guy like PJ can take him out. You know, take him out there on the perimeter, and then that can open things up for LaMelo and Gordon and Terry to get in there, because the Hornets perimeter players, they all kind of play in between. Like, yes, LaMelo likes to shoot, but he's been getting to the hole and going strong as of late. We know Gordon can hit the three, but he loves to go down there and hit you with that quick little bump and then fade away. And then you got Terry, who likes to play down there and get down inside as well and take some good mid-range shots as well. So hopefully a guy like PJ being back, and not sure what lineups they'll go to tonight. Maybe do they want to do Miles at the 5 and go small ball to give them that spacing so that they can get to the rim, or collapse that Milwaukee defense and kick it out, and hopefully they're on fire from three tonight.
All right, let's get to the stuff that you actually came here for West Wednesdays. We've got a list, another one Wes Bryant came up with on the broadcast, and in the next segment, we're going to talk about the top 5 Thanksgiving leftover meals. You thought the Thanksgiving talk and all those games were done? No, we still have leftovers. We're going to do the leftover topics coming up next. Not before I mention Bet Online, though. They've got you covered all season for more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues their march to the playoffs. Bet Online remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season, and you can head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus from basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. You don't have to wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and the easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Let's talk about leftover Thanksgiving dishes coming up next on the Locked On Hornets podcast.
This is Locked On Hornets.
Have you ever had that one little bug that's just like, it's not completely out, but it's like kind of dangling in there, and then you try to sniff it back up to go away for good, but it just, it'll keep popping back? That's what I'm going through right now.
It's time for more of the Locked On Hornets podcast.
Classic.
I like Wes is better. Wes is better. Look, yeah, mine's just gross. Mine's just fully me, man. That's just me telling you what it is going on, what life is like for me behind the scenes. And Wes is out here fresh to death. Here I am talking about boogers on a podcast. That's what I'm doing.
It happens to the best of us, though, man. Hopefully you got a friend beside you that'll let you know what's going on. Everybody,
right, a little bat in the back. You need a Robin to tell you got a bat in the back case.
Yeah. You might, man, you need to, handle that.
Walker, can I ask a couple of questions to Wes before we get to the list?
Please do. Let's do that.
These have been on my mind. So, we haven't had Wes on in a while, and I've been thinking about these. So, the one was recent. LaMelo was caught on a hot mic telling a ref that after he was done playing ball, he was going to be a ref to show the ref how it was done. Just classic, like LaMelo, confidence, love it. So it makes him great. Do you think that LaMelo would make a great referee after it's all said and done?
I definitely think so. He was a point guard, or he is a point guard, basketball IQ off the charts. And I bring up the point guard aspect because he can anticipate things and see things before they happen. So, yeah, I think LaMelo can get out there and do it. Just make sure the hair's still the same. It might be a little salt and pepper by the time he's a ref, but that'd be dope to have the salt and pepper curls out there, reffing.
I think they should. I think they should bring back celebrity referees. Everyone, like get Charles out there. I mean, get Chuck, get him out there. Let's see him ref a game or two. I'd like to see that.
That's such a great point, though, because I would like a swagged out referee, somebody that is a part of the game, just because they are going to bring the attention all to them. So if you got a fresh cut, maybe if you want to wear some kind of, I don't know, if you want to wear some kind of accessory, maybe you wear the headband as a referee. Referees sweat. They need to block out the sweat from coming into their eyes. So I think they should have a swagged out referee for every single NBA game. And he's got a signature
shoe, so he can rock his shoes.
There you go.
Or make a referee shoe.
Not from this world.
I'll tell you which current player would make the best ref right now. Chris Paul. I mean, that guy already refs. He refs during the game.
He's knows
pointing
all
out the rule violations.
Yeah, so many of them. They
Do you think Chris Paul would hate himself as an official? Would he just be kind of like looking like this, like, no, I did that back in my day. There's no way you're gonna fool me. Or would he appreciate it and say, you know what, extra great, fantastic effort. I actually am gonna reward that call. Which one would Chris Paul do?
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would not like reffing himself. Chris Paul,
I don't think anybody would like reffing
Sam
Chris Paul
out there, man.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would like
Wes,
Chris.
we've had a couple of saucy moves since you've been on. We had Terry's park move where he spun I think he did it again the other night, spun the ball backwards and while he was crossing someone over. We've had LaMelo's stop and start move that he put on his brother against Chicago. And then we've just had a series of Miles Bridges man moves, just taking it up, right hand, through traffic, through contact. So those are your three choices. What have you liked most? The Terry Park move, the LaMelo start and stop on his brother, or the Miles man moves?
No, I definitely like Terry Rozier's. That was nasty. I mean, I was watching it live. I mean, I watched all the games. So when I was watching it, it made me, I let out a ooh when he did that. That was
would have been a great call.
Nice, man. Yeah, that was nice. He spun it and then jacked it back on him. And the key was he made the shots. You see a lot of great moves in NBA games, and guys will break the shot, or the guy will give them a great pass and they finish it with a weak layup. So the fact that he hit the jumper just sealed it.
Yeah, I think Terry has to be number one because it defied logic. I don't even know how he did that with the basketball compared to the other guys and the moves that they made. Like, we know Miles is a freak. We know how he's able to do what he does. LaMelo's giving you a couple of those step backs. Terry Rozier's dribble, that was fantastic. All right, Wes, let's get to the Thanksgiving list. You like to do these lists during the broadcast. You came up with one, the best leftover Thanksgiving dishes. Now, this isn't just the best Thanksgiving dishes out there that you're eating on that day. What are the best leftover Thanksgiving dishes according to one Wes Bryant?
Let me hold on. Let me like the last one. Okay, so we went sweet potato casserole number 5. Now, this is not a personal favorite of mine. It was mentioned to me, and I find it that people find it very popular. So I put it on there. I do like sweet potatoes. I've never had sweet potato casserole or pie, which is quite controversial.
It is controversial.
The thing about sweet potato casserole is it's very hard to heat back up because you have about a 1 to 2 second window between cold sweet potato casserole and flaming hot lava burn every inch of gum that you have. Like, it's crazy.
Potatoes are unbelievably hot. Like, I talk about that all the time. Potatoes, I mean, they could be weapons if you want to.
That's true. A potato launcher. Yeah, that's the one that scares me the most. That one.
And then number 4, I went with any of the desserts. I mean, come on, man. Whether you got cake, brownies, pies, whatever the case may be, man. Like over here, we have pound cake and we had apple pie. I mean, you're going to eat on that for days. You can't turn that stuff down. You walk in the kitchen, my mom makes pound cakes that are out of this world. I mean, sometimes if I don't have anything to do and I'm up and she's making it, I will wait for a warm slice.
Yeah, if it survives the day.
That's what I'm saying. So way you're coming home the next day, whether you're out shopping or whatever you're doing, and you have pound cake or brownies just sitting there waiting to be eaten. no way you're passing that up. All right.
Yeah, I
So,
think that's an excellent addition. Plus, you can just bring it up, right? You can also eat it cold if you want to. A lot of the desserts, you know, you can
yes.
just bring it out. You don't have to put it. I mean, you don't have to put brownies in the microwave.
No,
you don't have to do
not
that.
at all. Pound cake, none of that. You can eat that.
Yeah.
Thing is, you know, you might want to warm up the pie,
Look at
whatever
that
you got.
stank face.
think
Doug.
you
Number
heat it
three, number three, I went with the dressing, which this was a big topic beforehand with the producer. She was saying, do you want dressing or stuffing? Because she was like me, she prefers dressing. And then some of the people to me, like Ashley, she wasn't quite sure what the difference was between the two. But I said, you know, stuffing is more crumbly. You know, it's a different texture, whereas dressing is more like a casserole. It derives from cornbread. And so to me, it's much tastier.
I like that.
So,
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, so you can put it with whatever, you know, you want. Like, I mean, now dressing for me, I definitely associate that with Thanksgiving only. But if you're all out of meat and you make a steak or you make some chicken wings or something like that, just throw a little dressing on the side.
Have you ever taken the dressing or the stuffing and put it on a leftover turkey sandwich?
I knew you were about to say that. I've never done that, but that does sound like it would be pretty good. I will try that next Thanksgiving.
Keeps it moist.
The Thanksgiving sandwiches are fantastic. Mashed potatoes on there as well. The glue guy, mashed potatoes, you are right, Doug. They are the glue guy to any dish that you have with mashed potatoes. All right, what is number two on Wes Bryant's
Number two, I
list?
went mac and cheese. I mean, talking high elite level leftovers right here because you can put mac and cheese with anything. You can eat it by itself. You can, like I said, you want to make a steak, you want to make chicken wings or whatever you want to do. Even if you have a burger, something like that. Like, especially with kids will eat mac and cheese with anything. So,
yeah.
So I went mac and cheese.
You want a hot tip on reheating any kind of noodle, including mac and cheese?
What's that?
So, but when you put it in the microwave, drop one ice cube on top and then throw a paper towel on top of that. Heat it up. The ice cube melts, but it evenly distributes the moisture to all the nudes. And you don't have like dry. Sometimes you heat up noodles and they get dry. This keeps them from getting dry. So one ice cube, bloop. Nudes.
Elite zap game. I feel that, Doug.
How would you learn that?
Oh man, anything's on the internet. It's one of these like TikTok, YouTube. Something my wife told me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say,
then number
one.
The turkey sandwich. Okay.
Yeah, it's number
turkey,
one. Yeah.
I mean,
Still king.
versatility knows no bounds. You can do anything with the turkey the next day, whether you want to eat it by itself or you have your full allotment of things you had the day before and you just want to eat just a recreation of the plate you had the day before. Or as we said, the sandwich and the many things that you can top it with.
Yeah, a turkey sandwich is number one. We just talked about putting stuffing on the turkey sandwich. So turkey has to be number one. Mashed potatoes, put some brown gravy on it if you want to. You talk about the versatility knowing zero bounds. You're so right about that. Turkey.
Yeah, I mean, you can make turkey sandwiches that are out of this world the next day.
I think, man, is that even better than the actual turkey of Thanksgiving? I love both. I love both so much. The actual turkey on Thanksgiving Day and then the fact that you can continue to eat it afterwards. Doug has not been agreeing with my food takes today, though. You're questioning me, Doug. You're not feeling that.
The problem with turkey is moisture. And so you have to facilitate the moisture the second day. On the first day, on actual Thanksgiving, you can just take turkey straight to the dome, but you've got to give it a little gravy. You've got to oil up the engine that is turkey on a leftover day.
Everybody always says that about turkey. We make ours in the roasting bag, and it always comes out, moist. And then when I warm it up the next day, I just make sure it's covered in foil so it keeps it.
There you go. Just throw some ice cubes in it.
Yeah,
it fixes everything.
Milwaukee's hot. You know what? Just put some ice cubes on them.
That's right. Throw some ice cubes on them
tonight. Yeah,
let's do
sure.
it.
Need to reheat this defense. Let's go.
Charlotte Hornets insider for Bally Sports. It's Wes Bryant. Find him on Twitter at WesGotRange. Also, if you want to listen to him talk about college football, the ACC championship between Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. Congratulations, by the way, Wes. Your Demon Deacons in the ACC champion.
Wow.
I'm surprised I didn't even mention that until the end. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, I voted them preseason number. I voted them third in the Atlantic to start the season. So I did think they could have 9 or 10 wins. I thought they was going to be in the 8 to 10, or thought they were going to be in the 8 to 10 range.
Mm-hmm.
But to say I thought we would be in the ACC championship, I mean, come on, I would be capping big right now. But that's why you have to celebrate all the more when Wake gets there, man, because it is a very rare occurrence. To be frank, I thought after we won it in 2006, I didn't think we'd ever get back again. I thought that was just a lightning in a bottle. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it happening. So for us to be in there this year, man, it is huge. I'll be down on the field, hanging out the whole game, man. And
you were on that 06 team?
Say what?
You were on that 06
team? No, man, that was the year after I left.
Oh, no.
So we were
so tough.
But they always make us feel better. They say, you guys were the guys that paved the way.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's good. Wes Bryant paving the way for the ACC potential champions in Wake Forest play weekend. Again, go check them out. Westcott Rain ACC Digital Network, as well as Valley Sports. Thanks again for joining us on the Locked On Hornets podcast and making Locked On Hornets your first listen. Now make your second listen Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. So again, make sure you check out Locked On Bets. We'll be back with you tomorrow with Julian Council of Locked On Panthers. Until then, have a great rest of your day.
So this is